Hey everyone, welcome to my How to Play Volleyball in Dead or Alive Extreme 3 tutorial. Let me start by saying when I got this game, I was so bad at the volleyball that I lost almost every match on my first playthrough. I think you can probably go back and see it on my stream, but it was a fucking disaster. I had no idea what I was doing, and the minigame isn't explained very well, so this is to help anyone that is brand new at X3 and wants to enjoy the core game, which is the volleyball, I guess. I haven't read any guides, I haven't looked for any exploits, I've only played the game naturally, and this is what I've come up with, okay? So the first thing you gotta understand is that you really only control one girl, which is your current mode pick. Your current girl mode pick. You can only tell the other one where to move with the right stick. Other than that, she'll do whatever she wants. That said, don't ignore her and let her do her own thing. At harder difficulties, you have to be telling her where to go constantly. She'll screw up, hit the balls into the net, miss incoming spikes, and so on. I have a sneaking suspicion that different girls may be good at different things, but I have nothing to back that up. For example, I suspect Neotengu is a beast on the offense but sucks at the defense, but that's just a hunch. If you see your partner consistently screwing up at one thing, move her to a different position and see if she'll do better at something else. In general, keep them either in the midfield or very close to the net. If you let them get too far back, they can't catch feints or spikes. Pro tip, if your partner is trying to spike the ball from far or midfield range, stand close to the net and be ready to press square if they hit the net, so you can sometimes avoid losing a point. You will be able to intercept the ball if it hits the net that way if you're really close to it. Excuse me. When receiving the ball, don't worry about pressing anything but square. If you press X, you'll just send it back over to the other side and annoy your partner. If you press circle, it'll do the same thing square does, which is send it to your partner so that they can spike it, or have them set you up to spike it. So just press square. Worth mentioning is that sometimes you can't tell exactly where the ball is going to land on your side since the view is horizontal. If you're not sure whether you're supposed to get it or whether your partner is supposed to get it, just press square and let the girls do their thing. When the enemy player runs up to the net to spike the ball, if you're close to the net in front of them and you press X before they spike it, you can jump up to block it. I'll tell you honestly, I don't like the blocking in this game and I find it very spotty. I don't know if other people have better blocking strategies, but it's a 50-50 thing for me because due to the horizontal view, you can't accurately pinpoint where the enemy player is along the net, which means she'll spike right past your block if you misjudge it. Not to mention if they get a perfect spike, they will blow you away and then your team is in trouble. I think the superior strategy is to receive the spike with square like you would any other ball and just keep the ball in play unless you're really sure you can block it. For example, if your position is really good and the enemy is like normal or easy. Just test and figure out what works best for you or do what I do and send your partner up front while you play midfield. The computer is pretty good at blocking and you can usually catch the spikes and feints that they miss. There's three ways to serve in this game: the down X underhand serve, which never fails, the overhand X serve, and the up X jumping overhand. The only reason to use the X or up X serve is if you can do it perfectly, because you'll get a good point bonus, and that's about it. I've played this game for like 50 hours, and I've scored points with a serve two times. And I've seen serves, I've seen probably like 1,000 serves by now. So if the game is really close or you're not very good at doing the overhand spikes, stick to the underhand one. Like if the game is really tight and you don't even want to risk screwing up the serve, just do the underhand. The spike timing is similar to the serve timing. It gets more juice as you wait until you reach the cutoff where you'll just hit into the net. Spikes and serves both work the same way. They both build up power, and then they reach a certain point, and then it's a fail after that. So practice up if you want to get those bonus points with the serves, or stick to the underhand. When you talk about the spikes, there's two options. So you can hit the spike, which is a timing game, or you can hit a feint, which is for when the enemy is jumping up to block the spike. Spikes are tough to hit perfectly under pressure, but when you do, you get a point bonus, and usually a good animation too. Perfect spikes can't be blocked, but they can still be received by enemy players. So think of the spikes as a timing mini game where the power of the shot rises the longer you wait until the cutoff, where you'll just hit it right into the net. Think of it like like you're on a roller coaster and you're climbing up that ramp. Right about when you hit the top is where you've got the most power, and then after that you're just gonna fuck it up. So the goal with the spikes is to wait just long enough. The only way to really master this is practice and getting the feel for it. The feints are a little different. When you see the enemy player run up to block your spike, if you hit circle, you'll just give a light pop past them, but usually their partner is there to get it. If they're not, you'll get the point because the ball will hit the ground. I usually use the feint whenever I see the enemy players have gotten too far apart and the one in the back can't catch it before it hits the sand. I'll also use it when I think the enemy's going to be able to block my spike. Like if I'm not playing that good and I'm not hitting a lot of perfects, that sort of thing, and I don't want to take the risk. That about does it for the basic mechanics right now. So what I'll do is I'll give you some overall tactical tips. On offense, obviously you want to score those perfect spikes as often as possible because they'll knock the blocking player over, and they have a higher chance of knocking over the girl receiving the ball or making her fumble it. This is where a lot of points are scored because even if you don't score with the spike, if you knock an opposing girl down, you fuck up the enemy team's rhythm, and sometimes you'll be able to score with the next spike before she even gets back up. So really focus on getting those good spikes. The timing is the same no matter what girl you use. So just worry about getting the timing down, and don't sweat whether Hanoka's timing is different or Ayane's timing is different, whatever. I haven't noticed any difference myself. I find one of the best ways to score is to put the ball between the enemy players on an angle, like this. Now, if you're having trouble scoring, don't give up. Keep the ball in play as long as you can and keep your defense tight. The longer the play goes, the more likely the enemy pair will get crossed up and fall out of position, which is where you're going to score. This, of course, goes the same for you. Never lose track of your partner and always keep her in the midfield or close up to the net, because the moment you two get too far apart is when that spike or feint is going to drop right between you two, and you'll both be too far to receive it. Stay focused, try to break up the enemy's rhythm with good spikes, and use feints when they start to get spread out. Similarly, don't let the enemy set the rhythm by constantly hammering you with spikes. You got to break out when they get you in that cycle, usually with some positional adjustments, and then you can start going after them. Anyways, that's about it. I've tried to keep this as short and condensed as possible because I know people don't want to sit here and listen to me talk about, fucking volleyball mini games for, 10 minutes. I hope this helps some of you players and helps you have a little bit of fun. If you've got any good strategies or tricks, drop them in the comments or let me know. And just go out there and have fun.